Alrighty, we've got the first episode of the series.
I'm excited.
And I'm also very excited. I think we've been talking about this for a while.
Too long.
For too long. I think almost a year.
Too much talk, not enough action.
Yeah, so this is the action.
This is
and look, this is a show we created because we want people to learn a little bit about a new topic and be able to have some facts under your belt. Mm-hmm. Now we've chosen something pretty popular and I think pretty exciting. It's F1.
I love F1.
Yep, it's very convenient, but also I think it's really topical at the moment, right? So why don't we start with just giving a really brief overview of F1, what it is, and we'll go from there.
Sure. So Formula One is motorsport. It's the top tier of open wheel racing. So the wheels are outside of the chassis. That's what that means. They race all around the world. It's 24 races, I think, this year. There's 20 drivers and 10 teams, and it's the most competitive, the biggest spectacle, the most money. That's why it's the top tier of motorsport.
Yeah. And it's very competitive.
Extremely. I mean, imagine any other job where there's only 20 open positions in the whole world, right?
Yeah.
You're only going to get the best of the best, and the standards and the expectation once you get to Formula One is extremely high.
Yeah. So I think it's a very competitive space. Also, there's a massive amount of popularity recently.
Probably one thing that really helped was the Netflix documentary Drive to Survive, which is, I think, in the 7th season now. And that really helped the popularity of F1 explode. Because I think, like, watching the races themselves, it can be kind of hard to get into if you're not interested in it already. But all the drama that kind of goes around it, people really connected with that. And also, I think during COVID, F1 was one of the first sports to come back onto like live TV. And that's when I started following it as well. So a lot of people kind of got into it through that.
Yeah. And it's really gone to a whole new level. We're going to talk about just 3 things today. We call them talking points so people can like pick them up and run with it. The first one's an interesting one. It's the Red Bull drama.
Yes.
So let's talk to us a little bit about that.
What drama? We're talking about this stuff. No, look, I think the main thing is what's happened just now is they've switched drivers again. So Red Bull has 2 teams. They have the senior team, which is called Red Bull, and then they have a junior team, which is called Racing Bulls. And last year, there's a Kiwi driver called Liam Lawson. He was driving for Racing Bulls in the second half of the season, again, after a mid-season driver switch. And he was doing pretty well. He got some great results. And so for the start of 2025, they decided to promote him to the main team. Now we're 3 races in, and he's been demoted again. So it's a bit of a merry-go-round there. And his former teammate at Racing Bulls, Yuki Tsunoda, has been promoted now to the main team.
Yep. And this isn't strange, right, for Red Bull?
It's not the first. This is the 4th time that I know of anyway they've done this mid-season. So, they had Daniel Kvyat, who was replaced by Max Verstappen mid-season. Then they had Pierre Gasly, that was replaced by Alex Albon mid-season. And just last season, Daniel Ricciardo was replaced by Liam Lawson mid-season. And now they've done it again with Liam and Yuki.
Yeah. And it just shows how competitive it's
insanely competitive.
Yeah.
Imagine, again, like, you don't shape up for a couple of rounds. This could mean, like, big losses in terms of prize money for sponsorships for the team. So the pressure is extremely high.
Also, every race is so expensive in terms of the amount of resources and people and
insane.
A lot of pressure. So it's a very, very high pressure sport. So obviously it's very, very expensive. But somehow there's another company that actually wants to compete as well.
Yes, that's right. That's another big piece of news. So next year, General Motors will be entering a team under the Cadillac brand. For the last decade, there's been no new entrants to the sport. One thing that you mentioned, like, it's so expensive to start a new team. Like, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. But secondly, the teams have been blocking it, like, for a variety of reasons. And in fact, I think it was 3 years ago, the FIA, the governing body of Formula One, was actually taken to court by a team that was trying to join and kept getting blocked for like anti-competitive behavior.
Yeah, which is fair because it's kind of, you should be trying to encourage everyone.
Exactly.
So Cadillac's going to be joining?
Yes.
Okay, but they're going to be starting with a Ferrari engine?
I believe so, yeah. You have to understand that developing an F1 engine is like many millions of dollars, right? So about half of the teams don't build their own engines. They buy their engines from another team.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. And obviously, because there's just so much at stake, it's probably a lot less risk, right?
Sure.
But it's pretty exciting. It's an all-American team
Yeah.
joining this, elite
I think
sport.
it's gotten so much more popular in the US over the last 5 or 10 years. Before it was like very European centric sport. Now there's actually 3 races in the US and the fan base is getting huge. So it's exciting that we're going to have like an American team. And yeah, we don't know who the driver is going to be yet, but let's see. Maybe it's an all-American driver lineup as well.
Yeah, it's exciting times. Now, the third talking point we've got is also pretty exciting. So Lewis Hamilton has joined Ferrari this year.
Yes. So Lewis Hamilton, he's probably one of the greatest drivers of all time. He has been at Mercedes for 12 years, or he was at Mercedes for 12 years, and he was incredibly successful. They were incredibly successful in that time. He won 6 drivers' championships. I think they won 8 constructors' championships while he was there. Incredible tenure. I will say in the last 2 or 3 years, they haven't been as good. And at the start of last year, he made the decision to move to Ferrari for this year. And he probably will end up ending his career at Ferrari. We don't know how it's going to go yet.
I think it's pretty exciting because I think Lewis Hamilton is obviously such high caliber.
Sure.
But Charles Leclerc.
Also, very good driver, right? There's always this debate in F1. Is it the driver or is it the car, right? And the only way to know for sure is to put 2 drivers in the same car.
Yeah.
And for a long time, people throwing out accusations, Lewis is only winning because the Mercedes is the best. Now he's in a different car. It's also competitive, so let's see what happens.
Yeah. And I think it would be really hard because you got Charles Leclerc, who's an amazing driver in his
Also
own.
a gun driver.
Yeah. So when we said it was competitive.
Exactly.
All right. So we like to finish off the interview with a little bit around a wildcard question. So something to provoke some, thought and potential opinions. So what would you provide?
Listen, I think if you were talking to a group of F1 fans, like a great question to get the discussion started would be like, who do we think is going to come out on top on the 2026 regulations? So what that means is the rules that by which you have to build the car, the specifications are changing in 2026 in a big way, like both the engine rules and the car aerodynamics rules. So, we don't know who is going to optimize their design within those rules the best, right? So could be someone like Cadillac, who's coming in new with no baggage in terms of their design history. We could have someone like Aston Martin, who has a billionaire backer, and they just hired Adrian Newey, who's like one of the most successful car designers of all time. Like, is it going to be them that come out on top? Is it McLaren, who's winning right now? Are they going to continue that form? We don't know, but it's going to be exciting to see, and I think a lot of great speculation to be had over dinner parties, etc.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pretty good conversation. So I've thoroughly enjoyed learning a bit more about F1.
I'm glad.
So thanks for that. I'm definitely going to use some of those talking points. If you really liked this episode, please let us know. Send us some ideas if you've got other things you want to talk about. I think we enjoy making them, so let's keep it going. And hopefully you found some common ground.
We hope so.
Thanks.